Parenting in the era of the new age and advanced technology can either break or pave the road to success in a child's being. Here's a piece on the state of mental health among school students.
Stress, anxiety, and depression are the symptoms of poor mental health. Back then, these conditions mainly affected the adults. Today, according to a survey conducted in 2011 by the National Health Mobility Survey, NHMS, the number of children with poor mental health is on the rise. In Malaysia, 20% of students aged between 5 and 15 years old suffer from mental health issues. For Muhammad Mikhail, a primary 5 student, he understands the life challenges he is facing. Mikhail spends long hours in school, and at home, this 11-year-old boy takes life as simple as possible. He knows the importance of having his mind free and at ease for good mental health. And how does an 11-year-old clear his mind?
After school, sometimes when I go home, sometimes when I'm tired, I relax. And after that, I clear my mind. So I need to think about study because new PSR is coming and it's very hard. I just sit at the balcony, look out, and just think positive.
Mikhail's parents taught him the meaning of optimism at a very tender age. He now can psych himself out of the stresses in life.
I follow my parents' law because I relax. I just clear my mind. I think. After I think about studies, what can I do? I tell myself every day that I can do it. I can study. I can pass my exams. I always think like that because I don't. If you think negative, you won't get anything.
However, not every student is as optimistic as Mikhail. He has friends whom he identifies as living a stressful life.
Yeah, people stress. That means they are thinking of a lot of things. They're angry. They are like don't know what to do. They're facing a lot of problems. That's why they are stressed.
Do you have friends that are stressful or in a stage of depression in school?
Because some of my friends, they are at home, they are like very hard because their parents go to work. Both of the parents, they only stay home alone. They go home walk to their homes, and when they reach home, they must do all those things by themselves. Then after that, there are some that their parents take them and then bring them home. And then some of those my friends have extra class after school. They'll go to tuition, music classes, and all those things.
And how are they when they are in school? Because you obviously know that they are your friends and they are quite depressed and quite stressed. How are they different from a student that does not face any stress?
Because the student, because when they go to the tuition after school, they will like until night time. Then when they go back, they're very tired, and then sometimes if they don't have enough sleep, they'll get angry. Then after that, when they wake up in the morning, they don't have enough sleep. Then after that, they're tired. Then after that, they're thinking of their problems. What are they going to do?
According to psychologists, the word stress is often misused and that a typical human being in actual fact requires stress to self-betterment. So what actually triggers stress in children?
Stress is often a misused word, sometimes often abused word. Stress is something that occurs every day in our life. And we need stress up to a certain extent because stress, research has shown, can help us focus better, can help us be more alert, can help us actually be physically stronger when it comes to dealing with different challenges. What we want to be talking about is what we call distress or negative stress. Stress that is a result of the student not able to cope with the demands being made by the environmental factors. Yeah, they don't have enough what we call coping resources. So what can contribute to student stress? Now, a lot of people, in a recent research reported, I can't remember where, 20% of children now have been diagnosed as being depressed, which is somewhat similar to stress, emotional health issues, and that's high. that's relatively high, children to actually be diagnosed with a mental health disorder or mental health condition. So what factors contribute to stress? I think that it's a myriad of factors. One of the most important factors is demands that do not fit between what is happening at home and what's happening in school. There's a lot of support now being given to schools in terms of technology to aid children's learning, but expectations of children's performance has also increased drastically. We talk about, we often report children getting all A's. Yeah, children as young as 5, parents expect them to perform, get all A's in whatever activities that they do. Now, A's are important, but it's not the defining factor to be considered as successful in life. Yeah. So now, although you have technology to aid learning process, the demands being made on them may not be appropriate for the children's developmental age. We expect children to be able to read at the age of 3 or 4 now. When do they play? When do they learn how to socialize? When do they learn psychomotor skills? When do they become children? I think that's one of the factors, one of the scenarios here in Malaysia now where children are no longer being seen or treated as children. We expect young children to behave like adults. We expect children to, not explore the outside world. So cognitive development, emotional development does not take place according to how we are built as human beings, how we are created as human beings. And parents' expectations as well. So there's a lot more assignments, there's a lot more projects that need to be done by children. I mean, some of them are really good, but they need to take into account cognitive abilities, emotional development of the children in schools.
A happy home exudes happiness in the mind and soul of a child. It all boils down to how much time, attention, and love that a parent contributes to their children.
A child with good relationship with their parents is more likely to exhibit healthy, positive behaviors, being able to manage their anger, manage their negative emotions, tell their parents if they are not doing well, if they're not feeling well. So I think relationship between the child and the parents have to play a major role. It's a very significant factor in ensuring that children do not exhibit negative behaviors